This podcast contains strong language and adult themes from the outset. Strap yourselves in, baby. Oh, that's nice. Come on.
It's on. Here, on.
Al fresco.
We'll hear the birds soon. We'll hear the birds in a minute.
Yeah.
Am I going to get bitten to death? I fucking hope not.
Well, I can't promise anything. Probably. But you're covered up. Oh, yeah.
Wash my hair.
This is quite quiet around here.
It's nice.
Yeah, it is nice, isn't it? It's my little oasis. Right, I mean, I don't think you'll get another house like this in the centre of town that's got a garden like this. In the centre of town.
Yeah, it is a bit. It's very random, isn't it? Do you not think?
What, my garden?
No, as in like
The house?
Yeah.
And the location?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's cool though.
Yeah. Anyway, do I need to get my copy out?
Have
But I suppose
you
I wrote
booked?
it.
I brought it so you can sign it for me.
Right, okay.
You can be like, and that was the end of that.
And that was the end of that. Go fuck yourself. I fucking hated it. You know when it first came out, right? And people were buying it. I mean, I don't get that so much at the moment. Like, people, it was... I mean, I know first world problems and all of that, but people asking me to sign my book was an absolute nightmare. Stressed me out. Really stressed me out. They were like, right, okay, be inspirational. I'm like, what?
You should just write, right? You should have written Janine.
Well, for some, I was like, go fuck yourself. Fuck you. Or I came up with, what did I come up with this? I thought, right, be honest, be true, be 100% you.
How many people did you write that for?
Fucking loads.
Be inspirational.
Like, what? Now? Down Bolton, I put, keep on trucking.
Get ready.
Wait, leave nothing out.
If you want help, hang up and then dial your operator.
Don't threaten me. You don't scare me.
Fun and excitement.
And when your head is down,
Leave nothing out. Right, listen, I'm going to eat my broccoli whilst we're talking.
That's all right, as long as the listeners don't mind.
Well, I don't think they'll care. It's broccoli, English mustard, man. It's going to blow my nose off. It's really strong.
Mustard.
It
We
does.
went to the chili festival at the weekend. If you want something to blow your nose off on my neck, the amount of like, oh god, there's so many flies that they want
know
you.
what?
They want your chicken and broccoli.
No, it's all right. I'm literally brilliant. Go on, you were talking about the chili festival.
Yeah, we went to the chili festival and tell you what, I've realised if you have a scale, if you have a chili scale of 5 chili, you know, like when they have on the bottles and
Yeah.
it shows you the number of chilies it is.
Yeah,
I think my maximum is 3
I can go hot.
because I tried a 5
I can go hot.
and so I did try a hot one and I like the taste originally, but then it's like, oh, I can't feel my my things have gone numb. My lips have gone numb.
We're out in nature, you know that, right? Right now.
Yeah, I'm really distracted by the fact that
Listen.
there's a wasp, there's a blue bottle.
Listen, listeners, we're out in my back garden. We're out in nature, and we're surrounded by wasps. And no, I don't think that's a wasp. That's like what's
It's like a hornet.
I don't. No, it's not a hornet. It's too small for a
Don't
hornet.
annoy it! Oh, it's coming for me! Don't! Don't anger it!
Don't annoy it.
Oh, look, it's go!
It's
coming
not a
at me.
fucking wasp. It's one of those small things.
Don't annoy it! You got lit, right? I'm just going to stand away from it a bit.
It's all
Far away-
right.
as far away as I can get whilst being plugged in.
Right, go on.
I'll tell you what. So I've been following all these podcasts on Instagram on the
Right.
Podcast Lab. They don't have this nonsense going on. Oh no, they've got professional studios. But can they travel with their podcast? No, they cannot. Janine, stop it! You're angering them. Right, I'm going to be the one that gets.
Oh.
I'm going to be the one that gets bitten, stung. I mean,
They don't sting. They're the little things that look like wasps. They're not really wasps. Anyway,
back to the book.
no, I'll tell you a funny story about a chili eating competition.
Fucking hell. Oh, you got this funny story about everything.
I'll tell you a funny story. Right. So, this guy used to come to my Thai boxing class. Rod Phelps is his name. I'm going to name him. I was like, dude, where have you been? He went, oh, mate, I've been bad. I think he's got to take special medication now.
You're getting
Oh, he's
lobster.
got- Oh, he fucked himself. Really funny. So we went to chili eating competition, right? He walked around all day drinking beer, right, and eating hot dogs, okay, before he started eating chilies. Beer and hot dogs. You know how acidic his stomach was? He said the woman that won, right, she was been drinking milk, like lining her stomach, right? On the way home, I think he came second, so he didn't win. I think he came second. But on the way home, he had to pull over in the car because he was in so much pain. He ended up in hospital. Yeah.
Did he enjoy it though?
Well, no, because he was in excruciating
No,
pain.
I know, but like, why do people do it?
I don't know, because they're idiots. Why would you do that? Why would you put yourself through a chili eating competition? Look, I like quite a lot. I like hot food.
I like hot food, and I can manage it if I've got something around, you know, to calm my mouth. But at the chili festival, all there was cider, and I wasn't drinking. I was driving.
No, I don't like cider.
No.
So that's my funny story for today. I might have some more
God.
that pop into my brain.
So
Come on then.
we decided to go a little bit. Well, it won't be light-hearted, will it? Because your book's not all light-hearted.
Well,
But we decided to talk about your book
yeah.
today.
Yeah, I will, because we keep mentioning it, and I suppose we could use this as a platform to be able to push it a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Why
because
not?
this is book 1, and
Yeah.
you've got book 2 coming out.
I have, in March. So, yeah, I suppose you're the one that's going to be asking questions. I mean, I can talk about it.
I didn't write any down.
What a surprise!
No, who cares?
I brought the book anyway to show that I have read it.
I know you've read it. So what's it about? My life.
I would say maybe
Coming
the
of age.
first third of your life. Would you say?
Yeah, coming of age. That's what I call it, coming of age. Are you coping, Callie, with the bugs?
I am hating life right now, but I can
Look,
try.
once I
and-
finish my food, I'm trying
No,
to
no, no, it's because of the food. I
It is,
think.
it is.
Yeah.
And once I finish the food, it'll be fine. So I'll tell you why I sat down and wrote it. Often people have said to me, because I've got lots of stories to tell, and I think I'm quite a good storyteller. And so they said, you need to write a book. So that's gone on for quite a number of years. So I just decided I had a bit of an issue with my father, who is a bellend. And I decided that he's just never been held accountable, ever, for his behaviour. And I decided that I was going to sit down and write my story. I'm going to let everybody know what type of person he was. I don't
And why
name him.
do people think of him as a good person?
Yeah.
But because they don't know what happened with you and
Oh,
Liam.
sorry, that's Boo Boo.
Oh yeah, they were in Janine's happy place. We're in a back garden with Boo Boo and a new turf that she put down.
It looks fucking great,
It
doesn't
does look good.
It does look good, doesn't it? I
Yeah,
just got to get
very
this up
green,
to speed.
very green.
I've looked after it very
Hers
well.
pipe band soon.
Yeah, well, they can fuck off. Right, they don't know what's going on in this back garden. I'll do what I want.
Says everyone in England.
But why don't? How can we're on an island, right, surrounded by water.
There's people who are
You know?
much more intelligent than me that can give you that answer
Oh,
why
I
we
don't
should
care.
be having
Like,
a hearse pipe
whatever.
band.
You know what? Why can't we utilise what's around us? That's what annoys me. For energy, for all of it. Why? Why have we got to go nuclear? Why can't we do hydro, whatever it is? I don't understand. I can't get my head around it. It annoys me.
Yeah, I asked someone why we can't use like tidal for hydro.
Yeah.
Apparently, the infrastructure to do it would be too expensive, and it wouldn't produce enough
I think that's bullshit.
with regards to the cost of the infrastructure.
Well, I think that's bollocks.
Unfortunately, nuclear is the most energy efficient. Well, yeah, the most efficient way
but
of
the
doing it.
consequences outweigh the most the efficiency of it, does it not?
Oh, well, hopefully I'll be dead before.
Yeah, me too.
If you're vegan or interested in climate change, don't listen to our podcast. No, I'm only joking. But like, you know,
I know that.
I do my bit. I do my bit.
Well,
You know, I got rid of 2 vehicles,
I've got a smart car.
and James has got an electric vehicle,
Yeah.
which some could argue is just as bad as a combustion engine vehicle. Anyway.
Anyway,
So yeah. So with regards to your dad, so, yeah,
so
you,
do you want to hear the story?
go on then.
this will be a little bit of a spoiler because I do actually write this in the second book. So,
Oh,
I know.
heard it here first.
I know.
Exclusive.
Lee phones me up one day. He says, do you want to hear a funny story? And I always want to hear a funny story from my brother because 9 times out of 10, it is hilarious. So, his ex-partner, she's an escort, whatever you want to call it. You can do that with a seat. Callie's struggling with the seat. Oh, no, you can't. Just lean back. Lean. You got to get it to work. It like that bit kicks up. Oh my God, if you can see what she's doing right now. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Hang on.
Oh, there's too many distractions going on in the garden.
No, it's all right. We'll be all right.
No, watch. Like, do that. Just lean back.
Oh, yeah, hang on.
Oh my God. There you go.
Oh, God.
Is that better?
I've only got a degree.
Oh, Jesus Christ, how many times have I got to start this story?
Right.
So, his ex-partner was an escort,
Right.
prostitute, whatever. You know, I don't care. I don't care what you do for earn your money. But let's call it what it is.
But
okay?
it's the oldest profession, isn't it?
It is the oldest profession. I don't care what anybody does. Just be kind. That's it. That's my ethos. Anyway, Lee had said to her, because she got it in her head that they were going to be together forever and ever, and he's like, no chance, because he couldn't get his head around her work. And that's Lee, okay? So, with that, he's phoned me up and he's gone, she's meant to have gone off to find herself, to find a new life. He said, if you want us to be together, you've got to find a different job. And anyway, so she's ended up in America. But leading up to that, she'd been going out to America anyway and prostituting herself out there. So, she's now in America. And I said, well, clearly she's not finding herself. So, my dad, she had fallen ill, apparently. We'll put that in inverted commas. Because her mum had phoned my dad and said, can you go and check on her? And my dad was on push to spend even a fucking weekend with me, let alone come and check to see if I was okay. I mean, whatever. Anyway, so he's gone and checked on her. They've gone off camping for 4 days together.
What, just your dad and her?
Yeah.
Is this after this book?
Yeah.
Right. Because
Yeah.
you've already gone over to America.
Yeah.
You tried to talk to him.
Yeah.
And then he was a bit of a dick and you can't. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said to Lee, no, I don't think Dad would do that. But come on, Lee. He said, I know what she's like. Well, you know, when you're doing up to 10 men a day, a penis is a penis, isn't it? If you've done that for 20 years, you've got, like, it just doesn't matter, does it? And she would do anything to get at Lee. Anything. And my dad, if you watch, she would post her, like, she's got her boobs out or her lips done and that, and he would be all over it.
I'm guessing he was flattered for the attention of a younger person.
Well, I suppose so. But it is a bit weird.
Yeah.
It is a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you want to read into it. It's a bit weird. So I talk him down. Look, it's pretty sad. She's got no friends. She's hanging out with our dad, right? It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know? So he's gone, yeah. Anyway, so he phones me a couple of days later. Do you want to hear part 2? I certainly do. So he then says, so I'm talking to her on the phone because they've got a couple of boys, because one of the boys was going to stay with him in India. And he said, we must have been on the phone for about 15 minutes. And if you knew my dad, if they were in the same space together, my dad would be, all right, son. You know, they're talking on FaceTime, not talking on the phone. They're FaceTiming each other. And he got off the phone and he was like, she's in the car with somebody. So he's phoned her back. He's gone, who are you in the car with? So she's turned the phone round and my dad couldn't even look him in the eye. Looked out the window and then looked back and went, all right, son, yeah, we're just looking for a cash point. So they're still together. Now, regardless of the situation, and I said to Leah, oh, do you know what, I can't even defend him now. I said, there's no proof. The whole situation is very strange. I said, he's just not dealt with it very well. And Lee, in his head, has convinced himself that they've slept together. That's what he's convinced himself of, right?
Yeah.
I said, Lee, I can't defend it. So that's the end of that. let's move forwards about 4 months. It was January 2019, and I thought, I went looking for my dad on Facebook. I couldn't find him. And then I thought, has he blocked me? I said to Lee, have you got Dad on Facebook? He went, no, I've blocked him. I said, okay. So then I reached out to my uncle, which is his brother. And I said, have you got Dad? He went, no, he's not talking to me. He's blocked me. So that was a separate situation. Right? So I thought, I've got another friend in America, right? And I know that they're friends. And I'm not naming anybody because I want to protect them.
Yeah.
Right? Even though I think my dad's an arsehole, I still want to, I don't need any shit from them. Okay? But I said, is my dad on your Facebook? She went, oh yeah, he was on about 20 minutes ago. I was like, all right, so he's blocked me. Now, bearing in mind, me and my dad have not had a conversation about this situation that occurred with my brother's ex-partner.
But he will have known you've spoken to Lee.
Maybe, maybe not. But he still blocked me.
Yeah.
Which is weird, right?
Keep going.
So I then message his wife and say, I'm trying to find Dad. She said, oh, I don't know about Facebook. He's blocked me. So he's blocked his own wife, right? That's another separate issue. He did tell me about that. That was something to do with his family or
But
whatever.
were they separated, did you say?
No, they're together. And I thought, I bet she doesn't know that he's been on a 4-day camping trip with an escort. Anyway, with that, I then email him. And she said, oh, he's here sleeping. I said, well, when he wakes up, tell him I'm trying to reach him. And then I email him and I said, you best get in contact with me because if you don't, there's going to be consequences. And I thought, if he doesn't get back to me, I'm going to tell her.
Yeah.
So then he phones me. I didn't answer the first time. I wasn't in the mood for it. So then he phones me again. He's got this stupid American English accent. Hey, Janine, how you doing? Oh, I'm so busy. I said, oh, just cut your shit. Like, why have you blocked me? Oh, I don't know. But I must have done it as a family thing. I mean, like, you know how to block somebody on Facebook, right? You have to go in, you have to type a person's name. You can't do it as a collective.
No.
You're at tick family box. You got to type the name and then it says, are you sure? You have to say yes. So I thought, I don't even care about his answer. I wanted him to know that I knew and that I was calling him out on it. Yeah. Why have you blocked me? Give me some bullshit answer. I said, okay, I don't care, moving on. And then I said, what's going on? I don't know. I said, look, she's been an arsehole to Lee. Oh, it's nothing to do with me. I said, he's your son. What? Where's your loyalty to your son? Well, I didn't think he wanted anything to do with her anymore. That's what he told me. I said, so that gives you the right to do what you want without there being any, like, what are you doing? I said, you need to fix this. I said, let me tell you something about your life. You've done exactly what you wanted to do your whole life.
Yeah.
I've been mum, I've been dad, I've been everything to Lee growing up. I've been big sister to look out for him, make sure that he's okay. I said, so his emotions and his welfare are my 100% priority. I said, I can't remember why I told him I was going to knock him the fuck out. But I did threaten him. And I said, I will fucking knock you the fuck out. And that was the end of our conversation. And that was the last time I spoke to him.
Shit. So he didn't even sort of like acknowledge what he'd done or...
He got really defensive and said, I will not be told by anybody who I can hang out with and who I can't hang out with. And I said, well, I tell you what, right, what you're doing right now and the way that you're being defensive is guilt. It's guilt. And that was the last time he spoke to me. And he, since then, blocked me again. And he came over just before the pandemic kicked off. And I wrote the book in 2019. After that point, after that conversation, literally after that conversation, I was like, right, fuck this shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, because you wrote it before...
Yeah.
Yeah, come here. You wrote it before lockdown, didn't you? Because
Yes.
I remember you saying that you were writing it.
Yeah, and then I decided in pandemic I looked for a publisher.
That's it, yeah.
That's what I
'cause
did
remember
in
talking
pandemic.
to you about
Yeah.
it during that time.
Well, he came over here just before the pandemic kicked off. He went and visited her.
What, the
Yeah.
Lee's ex?
Yeah.
Okay,
And then he drove from Brighton, north of Brighton, down to Tavistock. So he would have had to come down past this way. Yeah, he didn't come to see me. He's a fucking idiot.
Has he caught up with Lee?
No,
Has he
oh,
got
Lee,
to
Lee. We can't even mention his name.
Okay.
Lee can't, no, Lee's got nothing for him. Yeah.
That's interesting though, isn't it? Like if you read this book, at the start of it, you kind of think, oh, you know, he's an all right guy, but he's obviously in a relationship that he doesn't want to be in, and the way he deals with it is to kind of leave. And then, like you say, he contacts you all the time and tells you how much he loves you, but that's just a way of...
No. He doesn't contact us all the time.
At Christmas?
He would phone us. No, it would be random.
Oh, right.
Never on birthdays. Never at Christmas. We'd get maybe, if we were lucky, a phone call a year.
Yeah, that's what I remember
And
reading.
then, you see, as little kids, you don't understand, but you get excited. You're like, oh, yes, Dad, I love you too. But you realise as you get older, you're like, you weren't phoning for us.
Yeah.
You were phoning for you, for your guilt. I've always loved you too. No, you haven't. Because that's just fucking words.
Yeah.
Love is not words, love is action.
So what was he doing between when he left you and when you saw him in America? He just left to go to America?
Yeah. He got married to another woman. I think he was, from what I understand, hanging out with the Hells Angels, taking lots of drugs, just living the life that he wanted to live.
Yeah.
Without having any responsibility of looking after us two. So let me tell you something, he didn't fucking pay a penny towards our upbringing.
No, yeah, you said that.
At all. At all. And I tell you what he did try to do, and this was the crazy thing. So I went to America when I was 22. I had an opportunity to go there, and I thought I'm going to go and find out who he is, because my mum would quite often, I don't want to say anything bad. I don't want to, I don't want to paint a bad picture about him or make you think bad things about him. But this is what she would tell me about all this, like the sexual stuff that they would, like he got her to do, and it was fucking weird. I'd be like 12 and 13. It was really strange.
So she was obviously trying to sort of like go through her own
Manipulate
stuff, wasn't
me.
she? Yeah.
Yeah, coerce me, but she did that with the whole family. Like she made sure. My mum unfortunately was mentally unwell. She didn't have the capacity to be a parent, really. So me and Lee caught the tail end of all of that, and it was missed by the services.
Was she quite young when she was
19 when she had me?
There you go then. Yeah.
And 24. I mean, maybe she was 21 and then 24 by the time she was divorced from my dad.
Because I mean, my mum was 21 when she fell pregnant with Aaron, and she was like 24, 25 when she fell pregnant with me. But she had the support of my dad and the support of her family.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my mum's. I can almost justify her behaviour, but I can never forgive her for her behaviour towards us, because I can't have anything to do with her now.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to do with her. She's done some. I mean, like the first 3 chapters of that book is pretty tough to read.
Yeah.
Would you not agree? It was pretty tough to write. I think the second chapter was the hardest to write, because the second and third chapters when we moved down to East Howe, and when we moved to East Howe, it was horrific.
What, just because of the change in quality of life, or
Just the
'Cause you had to
abuse,
stay in school as
like
well,
the
didn't you?
abuse.
Yeah.
No, I went to big school. It was senior school. The level of abuse kind of ranked up in its behaviour towards me and Lee. I mean, Lee got most of the physical abuse, especially when he was a little kid. Because I tell a story of him going to school when he was 6,
Yeah.
and he had welts from a bamboo stick all over his back. And the teacher, when he was changing for PE, said, "How did you get that?" And I mean, it was a different time back then. I mean, you would never get away with it now. If a little kid went into school with welts all over their back, if we were with my mum now, I can guarantee you we would have been put into
Care,
foster and care. We did have social services involved in our life, but they were fucking useless. They missed everything. But the teacher then asked my 6-year-old little brother, "Where did you get those welts from?" And my mum, "What did she do that?" "I took a £1 note out of her purse." I mean, it's a fucking £1 note. So she got the bamboo stick out. That was her means of, other than using her fists. Yeah, a means of discipline. Yeah, she took the stick to me, took the skin off the back of my legs. I brought that up with her. No, I didn't. I said, well, you fucking did. Because I'm not, why would I lie about something like
Yeah.
that? The kid's not going to lie about something like that. But yeah, no. But she mentally, you just didn't know from one day to the next what you were coming into or what you were living with.
Yeah, because when was she like doing a driving? Was she a lorry driver?
Yeah, probably from the age of 13.
Yeah, because you talk about how you looked after Lee a lot. And,
Oh, yeah, all the time.
yeah.
Yeah, it was, but I looked after Lee all the time. Even from when we were at Noble Close, it was just me and him on our own. I mean, it was the 70s. You didn't get all the benefits that you get now. So my mum was trying to work and bring us up. But the sad thing about it is that my auntie and uncle, not my uncle Keith, my uncle Mick, he wanted to take us from what I found out later on. And she didn't want us.
Because she didn't want anyone else to have
She
you.
didn't want anybody else to have us. And she made sure that we
But
hated.
would that have been because she had a fear of failure? So if she allowed someone else to look after you, she would have failed that.
No, I just don't think she's a very nice person, Callie.
Or there's a mixture of she's already been abandoned by her husband. Would she be abandoned?
No, she wasn't. He didn't abandon her. She had so he tells me she had an affair.
Okay.
So he tells me, but what the fuck do I know? But she was mental. She's mental. And I mean that in like mentally unwell.
Yeah. But how does it make you feel knowing that you're estranged from both your mum and your dad?
Lonely. But I felt like that for a very long time.
Yeah.
Lonely. Life's tough. It's really hard.
Yeah.
And anybody that's had to grow up on their own and had to fend for themselves on their own, and I've had to do that from the age of 12 and 13 years old, it's fucking hard. And it makes you cynical, and it makes you tough, and it makes you vulnerable, and people prey on you. So I've had to get tougher. That's what I've had to do.
It's like I was asking you at the end of this first book, where you're going about where you met Scott.
Uh-huh.
And there's a bit where you've just finished the Commonwealth title fight where you broke your wrist, which I love the bit where you
Go on.
so they gave the decision to her. She was gifted the Commonwealth title and did nothing for it. Am I angry? And I can hear in your voice. Am I angry about it? Not really.
It's true.
And she's like, you went, I didn't kick up a fuss. I took it like a real sports person, a real sportsman should, and sucked it up. It was what it was, but let's have it straight. She did not win that fight.
No.
I love that. I can imagine her going, but let's have it straight.
But it was true.
Yeah, but then obviously you talk about Scott came down to the hospital with you, and then you realise that he was like, you realise that you were going to have to start looking after him because you talk about how you realised he had like depression. And then it comes into the fact that you like, again, you were there doing what you do, helping other people. That's quite, it's nice that you...
It's my default.
Yeah.
It's my default. It's my biggest default. If I do enough and I love them enough, maybe I can help them see better. Or, you see, the thing is, when you come from dysfunctional parents, what I've done my whole life is seek out love.
Yeah, because this is the start of me taking care of him and feeling that I should be helping him. Even though, really, if you read further before that, you'd only really just started going out with each other.
I know.
You didn't really know each other. He'd broken it off with his girlfriend. But even prior to that, how long did you know him before? Like you were like as friends?
I'd seen him in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thing is, though, it's difficult to see one person in one environment and then know how they are outside in different environments.
What do you mean?
So like, he could go to the gym and feel really confident about himself in the gym and know that that's his comfort zone. So therefore, he's a different person in that environment. When you take him out of his comfort zone, then he starts to...
Right. This is also my default. It's not so much my default now because I recognised it. Okay, I've done a lot of work on myself. If somebody paid me a bit of attention, I would ignore all the warning signs. Because what I'm doing is trying to fill up the hole inside of me that I've been trying to fill for the last 50 years of my life.
Yeah.
Right? Well, maybe not so much in the last 7 years because
It's difficult though, isn't it? Because a little bit of attention when you're feeling a little bit low is nice.
It is, of course it is. You think, oh, that person likes me, or that person wants to love me. I don't think he ever loved me. He's a narcissist. I seem to attract narcissists, which is, I don't know why. I think maybe they're attracted to the strength. And then the narcissist...
Yeah, there must have been something that he was obviously attracted to you, because otherwise why would he start sort of trying to create a friendship?
He was attracted to everybody. Let's have that straight. Right, so he, you know, you knock on enough doors, one person's going to open it.
Or was that because of his kind of mental health issue? Like he suffered from depression, so therefore having that, you know, like you said, having someone find you attractive makes you feel good. Did that help him, do you reckon, maybe? I don't know.
No, I don't think... No, I think I was just his meal ticket. He just sees everybody as a bit of a commodity.
Right.
You know?
And he could see you were doing well with your fights and stuff, maybe.
I don't know. What people like him will seize... He tests people, and then he'll be observing, and he'll find a little weakness, and then when he finds that weakness, he'll then work on that weakness and get what he can from that weakness, and then he'll rinse it dry until that person's completely had enough, and then you're done. Just took me a long time to see that. Took me a really long time to see that, because manipulative behaviour, if you don't know what that is or have ever experienced it, it's tough to know that when you're being manipulated. You know?
Yeah.
And I didn't realise at the very beginning of that relationship that I was being manipulated right from the very beginning. You know, when somebody says they're going to kill themselves and all the rest of it, you think they're going to kill themselves. So I thought, oh, I can't leave him. I can't have that on my conscience.
Yeah, because you thought, did you genuinely think he would?
At the beginning.
And then because he said it too many times, you're like,
Right, well, in the end, I used to say to him, well, just go and do it somewhere quietly, please. Because I don't care anymore.
The empathetic Janine.
No,
I get it.
You know, yeah, but the thing is, right, no, those people that are genuine about wanting to do themselves in will go and do it. They don't tell anybody.
No, it's normally the people you never expect to do it.
Exactly. But they were so happy. That's right. You don't know what's going on in people's heads. You don't know how a person presents themselves, actually what is going on inside their brain box. Yeah. Living with my mum, I used to say all the time as growing up as kids, like, you'd speak to other adults or my friends and they just couldn't see it because she was charming and she was funny and, you know, she'd open a house and they couldn't see it. Me and Lee were seen as the demons, but we weren't. She was awful. And I've spoke to Lee about it in the time that we've grown up now. And I said, just to back myself up, I said, it was bad, right? He went, oh, it was really bad.
Yes, sir, the confirmations have all just come in.
So, yeah, we both, whenever we might, because obviously she lives in the town. So if I see her, he'll go, oh, like, oh, shivers. And then I'll go, oh, yeah, no, I don't want to, no. I had to make a decision for myself. The last time I seen her was 2013, and she was just so awful to me. I thought, how long do I have to be punished for something I've never done, other than being born?
What, so she still lives in Bournemouth?
Yeah, yeah. And the day that I left that house in 2013, I just said, see you later.
Oh, this is awkward. I'm gonna walk this situation off, and I will see you later.
That was it. There was no argument. There was no nothing. She had given all my shoes away to the cat's protection and it got me round to the house. She fucking did. She's such a bitch. She got me round there to collect them. And then when I asked for them, she went, oh, I gave them all away to the cat's protection. And I didn't really care about the shoes. It was the vindictive nature of what she'd done.
She got you round, but actually there was nothing to collect.
There was nothing to collect. I told her about passing my degree. And I knew that I wasn't going to get any validation from her. I knew it. But I just wanted to see what her reaction was going to be. She didn't even look at me. She screwed up her face like she normally does. Just nothing. Nothing. How much can one person take from another human being that's just fucking tortured you and locked food away from you? For 3 months she did that. She put a padlock on her bedroom door when I was 16, locked all the food away from me so I couldn't eat.
I think you write about that in your book, don't you?
Uh-huh. Who does that as a parent?
Is it because you were 16, so she's like, well, you can fend for yourself?
Well, it was-
Not that that's right.
I mean, even so, it wasn't like I was 16. I've got no skill. I did have a job, but, right. So, I got a job at Suncliffe Hotel, right? And I didn't think anybody worked on Sunday. So I didn't go in on Sunday. And then when I went on Monday, the housekeeper said to me, where were you yesterday? I was like, I didn't think anybody worked on Sunday. I thought Sunday was God's day. She went, here's your money, see you later. And that was the end of that. To fuck me off. Yeah. So then, you know, you're trying to find work. It's difficult to find work when you're 16.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, she put a padlock on the door. She used to get Lee to go up and get the food. Unlock the padlock and fucking get the food out so that they can eat. I mean, who does that? I could never do that.
So what did you do?
I lived on currants and raisins. And the odd jacket potato, because I used to sneak down out of my room and if I just like scavenge around to see what I could find. I mean, it's fucking awful.
At what point did she start allowing you to have food again? Like what happened?
Well, I went to social services and begged them. I'd met some girls, and this girl said to me, if you come down to the hotel, I could probably get you work. But I needed to get down to the hotel. And where we were living in East Howe, the bus, I mean, it was like, it would take probably 3 hours just to walk from Kingston to, it's going to be a good 2 hour walk, isn't it? From Kingston to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
It's a good 2 hour walk. So I walked to the social services unit where I knew it was and begged them for money. And they gave me a £5. And that gave me money to get into town. And I went to the hotel and I got a job. Yeah, I got a job. And then once I was working, she's like, right, I basically, I paid her half of what I was earning because that's what she wanted.
Oh, so you could live there?
So I could live in the house.
Oh, what, your mum?
Yeah.
Money, money, money.
She's a cunt. Such a cunt. Awful. I write about the story as well. There was one year, I was 18, got my hair cut. She said, oh, that's nice. I said, oh, yeah. She said, oh, my mum's got dead straight hair, like no kink in it whatsoever. She tore out this picture of Raquel Welch. Raquel Welch is like Mediterranean, Latino. She's got curly, like vibrant hair. It's not dead straight.
Yeah.
So she had it cut and it was all like flicky back. She went, I really like this. I went, I don't know. I'm not a hairdresser. I said, go and see my mate. She'll sort you out. Anyway, she went and got a haircut. She hated it. She didn't speak to me for a week.
Because it's your mate.
Well, I don't know, because obviously it was my fault. And it was like, I paid for that. I paid for the cut, the haircut for her for Christmas. She just said, yeah, I was like, she's not even speaking to me. Like, it's my fault. And then, so Christmas Day, I thought, oh, fuck it, I'll get her a present. So I bought her a potato masher. I wrapped it up and put it underneath the Christmas tree. And then I sat opposite her. I went, here you are, Mum, I got you this. And I watched her unwrap it.
You're welcome.
I thought it was very funny. I thought it was hilarious.
What did she do?
Well, she knew I was taking the piss. She didn't say anything. I said, well, you need a new one, don't you? Got her a fucking potato masher. Yeah, she's horrible.
Do you think that part of her was jealous because obviously you didn't have any ties like she did, so she could see, like, basically herself in you, but without having to bring up two kids?
I think she was very bitter. I think she wanted to be an artist. I think my nan, her mum, had told her that that wasn't for her and she was to get married and have kids because that's what my nan had done. But you know what? You got choices, Callie.
Yeah.
And I had choices. I haven't settled. I did get married to the idiot, but that's through my own foolishness of not being strong enough to say no to him because I thought he was going to kill himself.
But what were the other options in the 70s? What do you reckon the other options were in the 70s for...
She could have done anything she wanted. She wanted to go to art college. You could have gone to art college. You could have done anything she wanted.
She just would have had to work a little bit harder. She wouldn't have been able to, like...
I don't know.
Have the
she could have had that
home
bohemian lifestyle. I mean, they had fuck all to put together anyway. They were living in a council house. We didn't even have money to put in the fucking electric meter. I mean, what difference would it made?
Yeah.
And she still could have done anything she wanted to. I know she had us too, But she still could have pursued anything she wanted to. And she did in the end. She wanted to be a lorry driver. So when I got my arm broken, I got it stamped on when I was 12. The money that I got as compensation, she used to get her driving licence. Although she told me she'd put it into a fund for me, she didn't do that at all. She took all the money.
But in a way, though, if you'd have found out later on in life that she'd done that, but she'd also been more of a caring mother, would you have been a bit like, oh, okay, well, but at least you put it towards giving us a better life?
Yeah, but she didn't give us a better life.
No, but if she had done that,
Maybe.
would your thoughts be different?
Maybe. She used to driving. She was never home, ever. We just had to get on with it.
So was you in the house on your own, or did you?
Me and Lee, yeah. Yeah. She would go out to work 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then she wouldn't come home till about 8 o'clock in the morning by the time we'd gone to school. And that's how it was.
So when did you go stay with your nan? Can you talk about your granddad, like spending quite a lot of time with your granddad?
Yeah, but he died when we were about 8 years old.
Oh, okay.
I love my granddad, Chick. Yeah, he was a good guy. He loved us. I know that he loved us. Yeah, but he died. He had a massive heart attack and he died. My nan, my mum's mum, I used to go and stay with her quite a lot when I was little. She could only cope with one of us, and so that was me. Lee didn't really used to stay. Lee was quite a handful as a little boy. So, yeah, she couldn't cope with Lee. So I used to go and stay there. And it was nice. I mean, who doesn't love fudge and Cocoa Pops and cheese on toast, wedge sandwiches and, all of that. So,
and then
I mean, that's the reason I just decided to really sit down and write the book. I didn't even think that I could write, to be honest, but I just had a story to tell.
Do you remember when I texted you and said, who edited the book? And you went, who? So you got an editor from the publishers, didn't you, or something?
Yeah.
Because there's a bit where obviously you write it how you say it.
Oh.
So I thought you kept misspelling something. But if you do read it, it's very much in Janine's, the way
my
Janine
voice.
speaks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that you know how she speaks, you'll enjoy it so much more because you can hear her voice when she says stuff.
I wanted to tell the story authentically because a lot of the subject matter is dark.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pretty it up and I didn't want to put, rosy language to it, or I needed it to be authentic. So there is swearing in it.
Yeah.
And there is, choice language, which some people have kind of been like, oh, but it's raw, isn't it?
Why has been?
I don't know, just
Other people go, oh, you go a bit.
Just a bit raw, isn't it? That's what people say. It's a bit raw, isn't it? And you're talking about, again, unfortunately, because we had no boundaries, we immediately had no boundaries whatsoever. So we were out, like, just experiencing life. And because we've got no stop valve, if somebody's going to offer you some drugs to take, you're going to take it.
But
so that's what we did.
So when I'm reading that, some of it's really quite funny though, isn't it? Because there's always so many people going, oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And because you said you had no one to tell you not to do it, you go and experience it and, sometimes come up against...
I've had some of the best nights of my life.
Yeah, like sometimes you obviously have an amazing time and other times you're like, oh shit, shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, because I took too much and I thought I was going to die. Yeah, but no, I mean, Lee was living in a squat from the age of 14. He used to phone up and leave messages on the answer machine on acid. It was very funny. I thought it was highly amusing. I remember my mum talking to me. I think Lee was sniffing glue and all sorts at school. I mean, we did go to a really bad school. We went to a really bad school. So I think he was doing all sorts from a very young age. I mean, fucking hell, us teenage girls, we used to get the aerosols and spray it into our sweatshirts and then breathe it in.
Oh,
so you'd get high off of that. So I'd come in because my mum thought I was fucking on all sorts. Because, I mean, I wasn't sniffing glue. I mean, that's just another level, isn't it? But Lee was experiencing all kinds of stuff from a very young age. I don't know that he was doing that, to be fair, to have that right, because we've never actually talked about that. But Yeah, he was living. I tell you where he was living. He was living in John Lennon's auntie's house that's down in Sandbanks. It's not there anymore. It's been taken down. But at the time,
is that
it was
the one
empty.
that's called Imagine?
Possibly.
No.
Possibly. So that at the time, I don't know what squatters' rights are now, but if the house was left empty, the group of people that he was hanging out with, they would just seek out houses that were just empty, and then they would break in and they would just live there. But he had a bouncy castle. I mean, it was a proper party house. They had a bouncy castle in one of the rooms, and I mean, he was having a ball. For him, that was his family.
Yeah.
That's where he got his love. That's where, he got his community. And Lee is very, very good with people. But he's had to learn how to be very good with people.
Yeah.
I mean, there was another time when he'd not been around for, I don't know, about 6 weeks. He was only 15. I was like, where's Lee? And then we had a phone call from the police. He was in Dorchester prison. My mum didn't even know. So I drove to Dorchester prison to check in on him, to make sure that he was okay. He got caught up with a group of people in town that had beaten up a foreigner. And I think he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Lee can't fight his way out of a paper bag and stuff that right. He absolutely cannot.
I remember when you told me you were taking him to the gym.
Oh. But it's been funny over the years. Yeah. I think I might have told that. Did I tell the story in the book? He come to the gym with me. He says, I like my chest. I just want to work my arms. I said, no, you have to do everything. No.
I don't know if it's in the book, but I know you've told me.
I did say, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I just want to work my arms. I said, well, no, you have to do everything or you do nothing. He went, all right, well, I'll go home. I said, all right, then, fuck off. So that's that. That's siblings, isn't it? That's siblings, isn't it? Yeah, I've got to say, people have said to me, the funny thing is people have said to me, right, now that you've written it, are you over it? Can you move on? Let me tell you something about growing up in abuse. You never move on from it. What you do is you learn to live with it. And the more you talk about it, and the more you try to self-reflect and look at all the things that have happened to you, and try to see your defaults, makes living a little bit easier. But it's not easy. Because I'm damaged goods, unfortunately, even now.
Yeah.
I am. I have massive rejection issues because of it. I'm not seeking love so much anymore. I'm trying to love myself more because I know that's what I need to do.
I was going to say, so obviously, like you said, you got like rejection issues and historically you just wanted to be loved. But so so for other people who might be going through similar things, like how do you manage that?
I would say that it's only really been in the last 7 years since I left the ex-husband that I've really started to pay attention to me as an individual and try to love me more. Do things for me, not try to work on my lack of self-worth, that constant, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for anybody. I don't know. Like, the thing is, the hardest thing is I'm too independent, I'm too strong. All of those, I lift too much weight, so I'm a fighter. All of those things I have to question. But I just want to be happy, and I want to be happy doing the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's what's really important, bringing myself joy and not making...
And not looking out for someone else to make you happy.
Yes. So yeah, no, I mean, like, the Thai boxing for me, I don't know, that essence, that has got a bit of a shelf life. I don't know when I'm going to, at some point, I'm like giving 1-to-1s to 27-year-old men that are like 110 kilos. It's,
But could you not be a bit like, what's his face, like a Rocky, and find someone as a sparring partner? And then you be in the corner with you beanie hat on?
Yeah, I can do that. Well, what I'd have to do is go, okay, yeah, I can coach you, but you're going to have to come with somebody.
Yeah.
So you can work with somebody.
Yeah, because you've got all the skills and knowledge.
Yeah, of course.
And then you can go in and be like, this is what you need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then come
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Like, I can just imagine you in Rocky being, what's his face? What's his name? What's the guy's name?
Oh,
You're going,
you're a fighter. Yeah. hang on.
Do you like my accent there? I don't know what it was.
No, it was all right.
Oh, okay.
Oliver Burgess Meredith, known professionally as Burgess Meredith, was best known for Mickey Goldmill in the Rocky films.
Like the guy says, you're gonna eat lightning and you're gonna crap thunder.
He was great though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was great. Like, you couldn't have picked a perfect person to be his trainer. Oh, Rocky's great. It'd be nice to sit down and watch that. I haven't watched that in ages. But I'll tell you why. Because the ex-husband, I had to watch that, like all the time. He was obsessed with it. Yeah, that and Oasis. Very strange.
Was he a Oasis fan?
Oh, God, yeah. Loved them.
Not for me, thanks.
Every day. If he wasn't listening to it by DVD, a CD, sorry, he was watching it on the TV.
What, just Rocky, not one?
No,
not two,
Oasis.
3. Oh,
Every day.
I can't stand Oasis.
So I'm a bit sick of them. Yeah,
I think they had like 1 or 2 good songs.
Wonderwall's pretty cool.
It's just a bit overplayed, isn't it?
Well, it is like most of them that become quite successful. Isn't it? Like that song, "You're beautiful,
Ugh.
you're beautiful." I'm gonna shoot myself in the face.
All I can think of is every time it comes on, I'm like because it's just like you're beautiful.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it?
It's not like, is that to
God,
my
what's
taste?
his name?
What's his name?
Yeah. He seems quite funny.
Answers on a postcard, guys.
Yeah. Oh, we had an email.
We did have an email.
Yeah, boy. You sent it to me. Right, I'll read it to you.
Our first ever email. I was so
First
excited. I
ever?
told James. When James got an email.
Yeah. Have you found it?
Yeah. Hi, Leave Nothing Out. Just want to say, great episode. Really enjoyed it, and I'm sure I'll be listening to more. Couple of questions. I'm a have-a-go triathlete and loved hearing about triathlon and the 4th discipline, strength training. Do you have any recommendations for strength training exercises you can do at home?
Great. Okay. Well, that's your bag.
Well, loads, isn't there, you can do?
Well, yeah. You can. Right. So, what's his name?
Unlucky Jut,
Okay.
I think, is his Instagram handle, because
Alright.
he's followed us on Instagram.
Okay. Are we going to talk about that now? Or are we going to save that for another episode?
Oh, let's save it for another episode,
we're
because then
talking-
we've got a
li-
bit more
listen, we're
content, haven't we?
We're talking about my book.
Yeah, okay.
Right. I'm afraid, Unlucky Joe, you're going to have to wait.
Oh, well, thank you for your email, Unlucky Jut. But
Yeah,
what we'll do is we'll park that. What do they say? We'll park that one.
We'll park it. They
And
can't
we'll
see you moving your hand, but it's very good.
We'll park that, and then we'll talk about it in the next episode. But we just want to say thank you very much for being our very first email.
Yeah, man.
You will hold a very special place in our heart going forward.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the book. I think I'm just I think what we've learned is I'm easily distracted.
Well, I think we're both easily distracted, to be fair. But, yeah, it's not a difficult read, is it?
No, so this, I got it as soon as I was able to purchase it. And I would say I was lied there like in bed laughing out loud to some bits, and James would be like, what are you laughing at? So I'd read it out to him and he'd laugh. And then there was bits in it where you talk about your nights out, and then I ask him if he remembers, and he's like, oh God, yeah, I remember that. Because he's about the same, he's a little bit older than you, isn't he,
He is a little bit
James?
older than me, but he'll remember the
But he
places that I went
remembers
to.
Yeah. And then, so I would say, even if people are a bit worried because they don't normally read,
No,
it's not a difficult
Yeah,
book
no.
to read.
Listen, if my brother, who's highly dyslexic, can sit down and read the first 3 chapters, right? Anybody can sit down and read it. He's never read a book in his life, and he read the first 3 chapters.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just put my little blankie around me.
Yeah, I think if you read the introduction, that's enough to make you go, ooh,
I need to get in.
yeah, I'm interested in that. But, yeah, the end of the book,
It just kind of comes
I will
good,
not
doesn't
be
it?
defined by their inability to parent. I will use my anger and aggression in a more conducive, fucking hell, I can't
Yeah,
read.
conducive.
More conducive way that will
Yeah.
produce a more positive outcome for my life to lead.
I've tried. I'm still learning. Aren't we all still learning?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a better person. It's quite difficult because a lot of dickheads around. I'm trying to be a better person.
But, you know, for every dickhead, there's always that, like, nice person as well.
Well, look what we're doing now. Look at us with our little podcast.
Yeah, I know.
It's good, isn't it?
And like I said, I've been watching all the other ones. I'm thinking, well, what have they got that we don't have? And probably just a little bit more exposure. So we just need to keep plugging, don't
Just
we?
keep plugging.
And do you know what makes me laugh?
Good.
And you said,
I know.
You said this is the only one you ever listened to.
Yeah, it is. And it makes me laugh.
Right.
Should we
well,
sign off?
Yeah, let's sign
I'm
off
getting
because
tired
I think
now.
we've done a really good sort of like
Yeah.
chat about your book.
Yeah.
And I
think it's
really
great.
look forward to. Have you decided what you're going to call the next one yet?
Yeah, Janine the Machine.
Janine the Machine. I'm really looking forward to Janine the Machine. That's what you're down in my.
Yeah,
phone
it's
has-
going to be, it's darker than the first one because it's my life living with a bipolar alcoholic. That's never going to be fun.
Hopefully, there's some little sort of snippets of laughter.
Oh. Well, it's the way I tell it. Even if it's dark, it's the way I tell it, innit? That's
Yeah.
that's how I always tell my stories. Okay, come on then, let's sign off.
All right then. Right. Well,
I've got to
have
take the dog for a walk.
It's been a lovely evening in your alfresco garden,
know.
hasn't it?
It's been nice, isn't it?
Dodging the wasps at the start,
Hey, listen, it's because I have my food out.
but they've all gone away now.
Yeah, they have.
And Boo Boo's just chilled,
Yeah,
keeping
he is.
guard. All right, right then. Well, we will see you next time when we will
Yeah.
discuss the email that
We're going to do that first?
the guy sent in.
All right, we can discuss that because it won't take long, will it?
Yeah, a bit like when we did Tomoko's thing.
Yeah,
Kinda chatting about that.
And then we can, what are we talking about? Training mum.
And then we're going to
Theories.
talk about training around our cycle. And
Yeah.
also, like, I know we've spoken about nutrition, but because we're already talking about training around our cycle, how the nutrition
Yeah, it's really
element
important.
is really important
Yeah.
to facilitate that.
Yeah, great.
And men who are listening to it, don't just be put off because it's about
No.
the women's cycle, because if you understand why the women are like that,
Yeah.
for trainers, that would be really important.
Yeah, really
But
important.
also, as partners and friends,
Yeah.
understanding why the female might be like that
Want to
is
stab your
really
face out.
important. Yeah. All right then. Right,
All right,
I'm going to say
laters.
see you later. Bye.
Layers.
Get ready.
Wait, leave nothing out.
If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
Don't threaten me. You don't scare me.
Fun and excitement.
When you're headed down, leave nothing out.